Lemuria vibrates in silence within your chest, like an ancient song that only plays when everything around you goes quiet. You have never seen this place, but it lives within you, not as a memory, but as a frequency. It pulses in your dreams, in the waters that calm you, in the stones that attract you without reason, and every time you feel a nameless longing. It is that call vibrating from within. There are records in your field that were not written with words. They were encoded in light. And now, that light begins to stir, as if something inside you is about to emerge. It's not a coincidence, nor imagination. It is reactivation. What the ancients called wisdom, neuroscience is beginning to decipher as vibrational codings in the DNA, and Lemuria was a master of that. It did not disappear. It was sealed within the only technology that survived the collapse, the awakened body. You are the receptacle. You are the portal. And when that portal opens, it is not only you who awakens. It is the earth itself, remembering who it once was and who it can become again. In this video, you will access the inner portal that holds the spiritual codes of Lemuria, vibrational information, sealed within your energy field from before linear memory. We will reveal how elements like seed crystals, high-frequency sound, coherent breathing, and connection with the living earth can reactivate gifts your soul recognizes, even if your mind does not yet understand. You will understand how Lemuria, far from being just a myth, operates as a real frequency, traceable through neurological states and patterns of heart coherence. Each practice we reveal here is supported not only by ancestral spiritual traditions, but also by modern discoveries in vibrational neuroscience and energetic biology. This is not just more content about theoretical spirituality, it is a call to vibrational integration. If you feel that there is something within you that is not yet awakened, but is about to, then this video is the key that can open that door. Get ready to remember what was never forgotten, only silenced. In the year 1977, Althea began having dreams that didn't feel like dreams. They were intense experiences, submerged temples where the light did not come from the sun, but from the crystal pillars themselves. Translucent beings spoke with their eyes, and the language was a melody. She would wake up with tears in her eyes and the feeling of having returned from a place she had never known. For months, she thought she was going crazy. No therapist, no book could explain that aching homesickness in her chest without cause. Until, at a holistic fair, she saw a small stone among hundreds. When she touched the crystal, a wave of heat rose up her arm, and images began to form in her mind, the same ones from the dream. She fell to her knees, not from pain, but from reunion. It was a Lemurian seed crystal. That night, she slept with the stone under her pillow, and she dreamed again. Only this time, the temple was not submerged. It was within her. From that moment on, her life was never the same. And what she began to remember, perhaps you were about to remember too. About 150,000 years ago, a continent vibrated in full resonance with the Earth's consciousness. There was no separation between the human being and the elements. The sea was listened to as if it had a voice, and the crystals were treated as living libraries. That civilization was Lemuria. There, life was not linear. Time was circular, and knowledge was transmitted through frequency. Every gesture, every sound, every geometry carried precise intention. The heart was the center of intelligence. But that state did not last forever. Around 12,000 years ago, abrupt changes in the planet's magnetic field caused a global vibrational decline. The Earth wavered, and with it, human consciousness as well. What once was living memory became symbol. What once was telepathy became silence. Lemuria was not destroyed, it was sealed. Its codes were archived not in books, but in the only repository capable of resisting forgetfulness, the spiritual DNA, millennia past. And now, something begins to pulse again. Today, the Earth's electromagnetic field is rising once more. Satellites are recording unprecedented oscillations. Science calls it an anomaly. The soul recognizes it as a sign. People all over the world report similar sensations: dreams of blue oceans, sudden attraction to crystals, inexplicable emotions when visiting mountains or beaches. These are the codes awakening. The frequency is returning, and those who feel it are already within the call. The HeartMath Institute, a reference in neurocardiology, discovered that the heart possesses its own electromagnetic field, 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain. This field not only influences your emotions and thoughts, but also interacts with the environment, affecting the fields surrounding the body. The most surprising part: when the heart enters coherence, a state of harmony between breathing, heartbeat, and intention, it alters both internal and external vibrational patterns. Experiments show that heart coherence can modify DNA structures in the laboratory. In other words, the body is not just biological, it is an antenna, and the heart is the key to tuning it. By reaching states of coherence, you activate subtle records that had been dormant, as if forgotten frequencies found a way to manifest. This is not just a spiritual metaphor, it is a measurable process, and the codes of Lemuria respond to this frequency. It all begins with a longing that has no name. It's a gentle tightening in the chest when you hear about Lemuria, a tear that appears for no reason when you see the ocean, a silent shiver in front of a crystal that you can't explain. These are not random signs. They are vibrational echoes of a frequency that still lives within you, pulsing from the inside, waiting to be recognized. Feeling the call is the first stage of reactivation. Science might call it an archetype, morphogenetic resonance, or neuro-emotional activation. The terminology doesn't matter. What matters is that you feel it. Carl Jung spoke of primordial images that emerge from the collective unconscious. But Lemuria is not just an image, it is a frequency. And when that frequency touches your soul, you know, not because someone told you, but because something within you awakened. If you get emotional without knowing why, if you dream of crystalline waters, temples, lights, if you feel like you're coming home without ever having left, that is the call. And the call, when heard, vibrates. Micro-action. Write down everything that gives you the feeling of home. It can be a sound, a place, a color, a symbol. Whatever resonates, write it down. That is a vibrational map of your code. It is the first memory that precedes awakening. If the call is the whisper, the heart is the receiver. The Lemurian frequency is not decoded by the logical mind, but through the vibrational field of the heart in a state of coherence. When you breathe with presence, when you silence yourself and feel without trying to understand, something begins to align. The heart has its own nervous system. Scientists call it the heart-brain. It sends more signals to the brain than the brain does to the heart. In Lemuria, the heart was the center of consciousness. It was through it that one thought, communicated, and healed. Today, science confirms that states of heart coherence enhance perception, reduce stress, and activate brain areas linked to intuition. You feel more. You read the invisible, the vibration becomes refined. Tuning in to the heart is adjusting your antenna to the original frequency of being. It is in this state that the forgotten codes begin to vibrate, as if they were waiting for your permission to awaken. The heart is the temple, coherence, the key, and silence, the path. Micro-action: practice coherent breathing twice a day. Inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 5. That's all. Do it for 3 minutes. You don't need to believe, just feel, and let the heart remember what the mind cannot reach. The call has been felt, the heart tuned in. Now it is time to activate, not through grand rituals or inaccessible secrets, but with elements that carry the original vibration. Lemuria was a vibrational civilization. Its codes were anchored in living matter: crystals, sounds, shapes, water. The Lemurian seed crystals are one of these vehicles. Linear markings on their surface indicate etheric records, like trails of encoded light. When touched with intention, they do not merely energize, they respond. High-frequency sounds like 432 Hz and 963 Hz resonate with the subtle centers of the body. These are notes that align the field, awakening what was dormant. Water is another catalyst. It records vibrations, amplifies intentions, connects dimensions. Conscious immersions in rivers, waterfalls, or the ocean activate cellular memories. Sacred geometries, like the flower of life, operate as mirrors of the universal structure of being. Meditating with them reorganizes internal vibrational patterns. These elements are not spiritual accessories. They are ancestral technologies, and you are the operator. Micro-action: choose a Lemurian crystal, place it in your left hand. Listen to 963 Hz for 10 minutes with your eyes closed. Just allow, do this for 7 days. Observe the dreams, the sensations, the signs. You are remembering how your own inner technology works. Activating the codes is sacred, but living with them is the true miracle. Lemuria does not return only in meditations, in crystals, or in ethereal music. It manifests when you embody that vibration in your everyday life. Every conscious choice, every compassionate gesture, every word spoken with presence, all of it is vibrational technology in action. The seeker's risk is getting lost in the sky and forgetting the earth. But Lemuria was balance, sky and earth in perfect symbiosis. Living with coherence, with truth, with pure intention. That is anchoring the frequency. The mission is not to float, it is to radiate, eating with gratitude, walking while feeling the ground, looking someone in the eyes and being fully there. This is the new spirituality, integrated, embodied, real. And that is how the codes not only awaken, but remain active. Because when your life vibrates in harmony with who you truly are, Lemuria vibrates with you. You become a bridge. You become a portal. Micro-action: choose one daily act to walk the path of the heart. It can be a gesture of kindness, a conscious silence, an aligned choice. One per day, just one, but done with soul. This is how the new earth is built, one vibration at a time. Althea followed the call. She started by writing down the dreams. They became more and more vivid, with symbols, phrases in languages she didn't know yet understood. Then she began practicing coherent breathing upon waking and before sleep. She felt her chest warming, as if a light were expanding from the inside out. She adopted the Lemurian crystal as a silent companion. She meditated with it every night, listening to 963 Hz sounds in a dark room. By the third week, her hands began to vibrate on their own. When she touched loved ones, she felt heat, tingling, a subtle presence. She then decided to dive into the ocean at sunrise. When she came out of the water, she had a clear vision. Dozens of women in a circle, holding crystals beneath a mountain. She knew it was a call to serve. Today, Althea leads vibrational retreats in regions of energetic vortex. She teaches people to listen to the body, to trust the vibration, to reactivate forgotten gifts. But the most beautiful part is not in the practices, it is in her presence. Althea doesn't speak about Lemuria with words. She vibrates Lemuria with her being. And whenever someone asks how it all began, she smiles. It was when I stopped searching outside and started remembering from within. But what if it's all just my imagination? What if I'm only projecting spiritual desires? That's the question that echoes most when the mind tries to protect itself from the invisible. But here's the point. Everything that is real vibrates. If a sound, an image, a crystal, or a word touches your soul, transforms your emotion, changes your behavior, it leaves imprints in the field. The body records it, sleep patterns shift, intuition sharpens. Science has already shown that thought alters physiology. Emotion restructures DNA. So what seems like imagination may actually be vibrational memory activating. Illusion does not bring healing, but the right memory transforms you completely. Close your eyes now. Sit with your spine upright, feet touching the ground. Take a deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Slowly exhale for 6. Once more, inhale, hold, exhale. Place your left hand at the center of your chest. Feel the warmth. Feel the contact. Now imagine a golden light beginning to emerge from your heart. It pulses gently, expands with every breath. That light does not come from the outside. It has always been there. It is the code. Now repeat in a soft voice, as if sealing an energetic imprint. I open myself to remember. I activate what sleeps within me. Feel these words move through your body. Feel the vibration spread through your arms, your head, your legs. Everything in you begins to align. There is no effort, only presence. One more breath. Inhale, hold, release. Now, slowly begin to return. Open your eyes when you feel ready. You have just touched the field where Lemuria lives. Feeling the call, recognizing the echo of Lemuria within you. Tuning in with the heart. Adjusting your vibrational antenna to your inner truth. Activating with key elements, using sound, crystal, water, and geometry as catalysts. Anchoring in daily life, living with presence, compassion, and vibrational coherence. These are the 4 portals, and you have passed through them. Now, the path is open. The remembrance has been triggered. The body has listened. And the frequency is back. And if the frequency is back, it did not return to be contemplated. It returned to be lived. What moved through your body in this video was not just information, it was activation. Not a distant memory, but a real, present vibration with the power to reshape your most subtle gestures. Lemuria pulses within you, not as a past, but as a possibility. Everything revealed here does not require belief. It requires presence. The frequency you felt does not end with the end of the video. It stays with you in the touch, in the gaze, in the way you choose to walk through the world from this moment forward. Spiritual codes do not awaken to decorate speeches. They emerge to dismantle automatism, to dissolve masks, to reignite forgotten choices. Your habits are circuits, your emotions, fuel, your body, pure technology. To apply what vibrated here is to allow spirituality to descend from concept into gesture. Consciousness is measured by what you vibrate when no one is watching. Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." You have already rediscovered the why, and the how begins the moment you allow your vibration to be stronger than your conditioning. That is how Lemuria returns, not in ancient maps, but in invisible choices made with an awakened soul. If this video awakened something in you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Write in the comments, "I vibrate with the wisdom that lives within me." This phrase anchors your intention in the field. Share it with someone who carries a longing they've never been able to explain. And click on the screen now to watch another transformational video. There are revelations that only unfold when you continue. Because when the vibration changes, reality follows.